Should I do a Roth conversion? Yes or no? Well, I have another case study for you today, so let's dive right into it. Don't get caught up in the numbers though. Maybe you have a lot more money or maybe you have a lot less money. I want you to grasp the concept, all right? Think about the pros and the cons and if it makes sense for your family. And always have somebody make sure they run the numbers specifically for you. So here today we have Harvey and Donna hypothetical. We have got Harvey working at ABC and Donna at XYZ. Harvey makes about $150,000 and Donna makes $50,000 a year. They both would like to retire in January of 2025, right at the age of 64. We're going to have to do some health insurance planning here for them between the ages of 64 and 65. So keep that in the back of your mind. Social Security benefits, they said, and I'm not saying this is the right thing to do, but in this scenario, they say, Tony, we think that we're just going to turn on our Social Security on the day that we retire. Well, okay, well, that's a starting point. Let's see if that makes sense or not. So we're always going to go back and analyze and find ways to be able to maximize our Social Security, but we're talking about Roth conversions today. So we're going to turn this on at 64 for fun, and Harvey's going to get $3,800 a month, and Donna's going to get $1,200 a month. You can see the COLA, or cost of living adjustment, on Social Security. I gave them credit only about 2% a year. If I click this button right here that says COLA history, you can see the last 10 years has averaged 2.75. Actually, in 2024 it was 3.2, 2023 8.7, 2022 5.9, 2021. So you can see kind of all the years of what they were. And the 50-year average is 3.7. So I hope you'd agree that I am lowballing it. I'm trying to be very conservative in this scenario. But of course, we do whatever you want. This is your ultimate plan when you're doing your numbers. So let's dive over into our tab 2 and see where all the money is at for Harvey and Donna. Harvey on line 1 has an IRA of about $900,000. Donna, she has an IRA of $75,000. And then they have a joint account. This is our after-tax dollars, a brokerage account somewhere. And they have $550,000 that they have saved over their lifetime so far. Harvey has a Roth IRA, and in that Roth, he's got right at $100,000 in this hypothetical case. Donna does not have one. They have a joint CD of $50,000, a high-yield savings account of $25,000, and some checking and savings at their bank for about $50,000 there. So now you can kind of see, and again, if you have more, if you have less, don't get caught up in the numbers specifically, kind of grasp the concept here. So you can see that they have a house that's paid for free and clear of $750,000. And I'm not using anything crazy, not 8, 9, 10% rates of return. I'm using less than a 5% weighted average for them. 1.750 for liquid assets, and $750,000 home gives them a $2.5 million net worth, assuming they have no debt. So I dive over to our expense tab and they say, hey, Tony, we would like to have about $6,000 net deposited into our checking account after taxes. Well, we already know they're going to have a majority of that coming from their Social Security. And the inflation history, this is always a fun argument. The last 10-year averages has been 2.82, and for the last 110-year average has been 3.27. So let's go ahead and use the higher dollar amount there, and again, or the higher percentage. And in your own case, happy to run it however you want. 5, 6, 7, whatever you believe to be true. We'll just see how long the money lasts. So now let's go ahead and dive over here and see, do we run out of money or not? Well, our red line would tell us if we did at a certain age, and you can see very easily in 2061, or at the age of 100, they have $4.9 million. They don't run out of money at all. Income planning is not an issue for this couple whatsoever. So let's take a look at where the income's coming from. Here's the $5,000 coming from Harvey's Social Security and Donna's Social Security. We don't have any cash flow such as rental income, oil rights, gas rights, something like that. But they did need about $6,000 in today's environment. But with inflation and a few years down the road, it's going to feel more like $6,331. So we're going to have to pull the money out of one of their accounts to supplement the lifestyle that they want to enjoy. And at $1,300 approximately a month, that is not a whole lot based on the assets that they have. So I scroll out here to the right, you can see under the protected asset column right here, that's the value of their home. And I gave it a small little increase. I think it was maybe 1.5% increase that I gave there. So 769, a year later, 781, a couple years later, 791. But more importantly, what most people care is, hey, what are the assets, the spendable assets? What does that look like? So at 64, they have $1.8, almost $1.9 million and $966,000 sitting in Harvey's traditional IRA. And you can see right here, they have the Roth account. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my mouse down on the spendable assets column, and you're going to see money being shifted here in just a second. So what we're going to do is you can see right now, this is the current scenario, $4.9 million. But if I click over into a second scenario, which I've pre-done this beforehand, I'm doing a Roth conversion. Doing this Roth conversion, it's increased the family's net worth by over $500,000. And all I simply did, and there is rhyme and reason to this, right? There's, it's, you gotta really, you can do this 100 different ways. Right? We do 50,000 conversion. We can do 75. We can do 100. We could do 200. We can do the entire amount of a conversion. Not that I'd recommend it, but you have a lot of different options. And in this scenario, I simply did a $100,000 conversion over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, and then there was a little bit left over. So by doing that, and again, I'm not saying that's what you should be doing. This is a hypothetical case, but let's take a look what's happening. I come out here to the spendable assets, $1.8 million, and $861,000 of that is in Harvey's IRA account. And right here, you can see the Roth of $215. Okay, so now remember, $215 in the Roth, $861 in the IRA. I'm going to come down one line. You can see that IRA dropped, $784, and then the Roth, that $100,000, got dropped into the Roth. We're going to do this a couple times. Go down the next year, the age of 66 for both of them. Now they got 701 and 457 in the Roth. 612, and now we've got 589 in the Roth. 518, now 712. So we're doing this over time until basically there's no more traditional IRA. You don't have to do it that way. There's no problem with having a small IRA, maybe a standard deduction when you're taking withdrawals out, covers that for you. But if you take a look, this is the current scenario. If you come down here to, let's say, I don't know, in the 80s, here's the current scenario. You do nothing, all right? And you're just chugging away, you're pulling out your Social Security, you're living off of that, you're taking a little bit of money out of your IRA account. Look at this. When you're in your upper 70s, lower 80s here, you got to pull out $78,000 here, whether you want to or not. These are forced RMDs in your 70s and 80s. Look at this, $88,000, $98,000. So that may push you into another bracket if you think taxes are going to be higher. And so if you don't take it in today's environment, it's a huge penalty. So what we're trying to do is we're just simply trying to get rid of this IRA, RMD problems in the future and get this to more tax efficient places. So in a Roth conversion here, and we did these, we kept everybody here, Harvey and Donna, I should say, in the, I think the effective rate was right around 13-14%. So it's not like I pushed them into some ugly tax bracket to do these conversions, and it didn't affect their IRMA. Their Medicare premium payments didn't go way up. But a lot of curveballs that you've got to be aware of so you can hit the ball out of the park when you're doing Roth conversions. So in summary, what did this benefit them? In the current scenario, listen, they retire, they're going to be just fine. They are not going to outlive their money. They're going to be fine right there, right? But over their lifetime in taxes, in this scenario, they're going to pay $867,000 in taxes. I say that unnecessarily because they have a choice. They don't have to. Right? But if they did some Roth conversions, if they felt like taxes were maybe higher in the future and it made sense for them, then in the way that I designed this hypothetical case, right, they save about $300,000. $510,000 is their lifetime tax after doing Roth conversions. So that's a savings of about $357,000 over their lifetime. Okay, so over here you see $867,000 if they do nothing. And the legacy funds, and I know you are the most important person designing this, but there's some other benefits that come along the way. That's the legacy of what you might leave to loved ones or children. So you have $4.9 million to leave them, but you still have an IRA in there. and there's about $567,000 that's still taxable if you do nothing in the current scenario. However, if you do decide to do Roth conversions, then we get about 97% of this money all over into the Roth IRA account is all tax-free. So the legacy goes up another $500,000, and all of this money is tax-free to the heirs. So I like the Roth idea because it's the trifecta, right? It grows tax-free. You can take withdrawals after 5 years tax-free, and you can leave it to the people that you love the most tax-free. So over here, you're leaving actually more than $500,000 because over here you still have some taxes that you have to pay. So current scenario, lifetime tax, $867,000. You do some Roth conversions in this scenario, you save $350,000 plus in taxes. So not too shabby. Now, let's say you're on the complete opposite. You're like, Tony, you're full of it. I don't believe you one bit. I think taxes are going to be the same or they're going to be lower in the future. That's okay. That's okay, because I created a video just for you. And in that video, I call it the 4 reasons not to do a Roth. We're going to post it right up here for you. Now's the time to go watch that video so you can see both sides of it and see which is best for your family. Okay? And as always, remember to consult a licensed professional who understands your specific goals and dreams.